live on High Button Sports. Killian Powers on for the call with you here in a couple of minutes. We have got the Cole Harbour Rage taking on the Dartmouth Whalers live on High Button, U15 Hockey Sunday. A pleasure and a joy always to call the great game of hockey with you, ladies and gentlemen. Both of these teams are looking to crawl and scratch their way out of the bottom four of the standings. The Rage are 12th place with a 2-16 record with just 6 points, with a recent loss to the Western Hurricanes 4-1 yesterday. And on the other side of things, the Dartmouth Whalers playing host to the Harbour Rage. They are 10th place in their own right with a 3-15 record and just 9 points. They also are coming off a loss 7-3 to the Warewell Bombers. Couple of players to watch for the Rage. Coming first, Lucas Dondo, Zachary Mayo, and Landon Chevry all are tied for points at 9. Lucas Dondo, he has 3 goals. My apologies. He has 6 goals, 3 assists. Zachary Mayo has 4 goals, 5 assists. And Landon Chevry has 2 goals and 7 assists. And on the other side for the Whalers, a couple of players to watch. Mason Wakeham. He has 19 points, leading the team with 9 goals and 10 assists. Jack Taylor leads the team in assists with 2 goals and 13 assists, which totals for 15 points. And then Alexander Brown and Cole Taylor are both tied for 13 points with 10 goals, 3 assists for Alexander Brown, and for Cole Taylor that will be 10 goals and 3 goals and 10 assists. Expected starting goalies for both teams. First for the Rage, Callum Hartland got the start yesterday in the 4-1 loss to the Western Hurricanes, so Colson Gould is expected to make his start. He is 1-6 with a goals allowed average of 4.94 and a save percentage of .867. 6-7, as I am required to say by the kiddies these days. The Whalers' expected starter in net is number 29, Lydia Higgs. She is 2-7 on the season with a goals allowed average of 5.2 and a save percentage of .860. We will have it live for you here in about 10 minutes after we flood the ice here on High Button Sports Hockey Sunday for some U15 action. And a good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. Killian Powers live on the call here, courtesy of High Button Sports, as we bring to you some more U15 Nova Scotia major hockey action as we have the Cole Harbour Rage taking on the Dartmouth Whalers live from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia at the Zatzman Sportsplex, home of the Dartmouth Whalers. Both teams looking to crawl and scratch their way out of the bottom four of the standings as we get set for our opening face-off. Taylor will win the draw for the Whalers, and we're underway. Both teams coming off their historic Ice Jam tournament, and both teams did not make the round of 16, as the Rage went 1-2 and the Dartmouth Whalers went 0-3, as we will get our first stoppage, as that one is covered by starting goaltender Colson Gould. And it looks like we will have our first penalty, as Wakeham was caught with some extracurricular activity. I have it on good word that we have been hearing chirps from both teams dating all the way back to the off-ice warm-ups. So it will indeed be an interesting one despite the standings. So that draw is won and taken back by Taylor. Taylor, one of the top scorers of the Whalers, and it is dumped out. Big power play coming for the Whalers, or for the Rage rather, as Taylor dumped it down, but it is back in. Baldwin takes it from behind the net, as Lucas Dondo, he's one of the three tied for 9 points, a team leading, as it is sticked back down to the point. A big ripper, big rebound after the save by Higgs. Another puck in front, and we will get a stoppage for an apparent equipment issue. Both teams will get their first changes. We have three players tied for the leading in points, as I was mentioning, for the Rage. Dondo, Mayo, and Chevry, both tied with 9 points, team leading. Rage win the draw. They tried to stick it to Carroll, but Taylor sticked that one out. He'll pick up some speed. He's got a man on the right side. That shot and a rebound was scooped back up on the other end. Here's Dondo. He'll take a rip, but it is blocked by a Whaler defender, and he'll pick it right back up. He'll look for options as he skates all the way around. Had a nice pass for Mayo there, but couldn't get the shot off. Back to the point. That pass was intended for Mayo. They eventually get it to him. Here's a shot from the point, and it's blocked away by Higgs, her second save of the game. Dondo with a centering pass, but Carroll picks it up at the other end. Carroll with a backhander. That went off the post and off a pad and out. And it'll be cleared back out. Oh, not so fast. Carroll keeps it into the point. Mayo to Dondo, who had a nice shot, but it just went high and wide. Time expiring on the roughing call to Dartmouth, as there's a stretch pass. And Dartmouth will get a change, as Wakeham will take a shot. He was waiting for his options to open up, as Dartmouth was making a full line change. Wakeham will finally go to the bench, as there's a backhanded attempt that falls wide. We'll scrum the corner. And it is worked back out for a Rage change. Here's a shot in front. It's patted away by Gould. Mosher with a pass over to Taylor. Taylor with a snipe. But it is easily patted away by Gould. Here's Chevry. Chevry making a couple of moves, and he fields a hit from Mosher. Taylor works it back out of the zone, and the Rage will regroup in the neutral zone as Lewis works it into the zone, and that shot is swallowed up by Higgs. 11:31 remaining in our first frame as both teams make changes. As I was mentioning, both teams coming on their first weekend off the Big Ice Jam tournament. Both teams failed to make the round of 16, but the Rage did pick up a win against the Mid-Isle Matrix. It was a 3-2 victory on their final round-robin game of the tournament as Dartmouth works their way out of the zone. Johnson will pick up. He'll pass it over to Sim. And that centering pass is sticked away by Gould. Little scrum. It's worked to Lewis behind the net. Lewis will skate around the other way and will skate out of his zone. It'll be picked up, but then skated back out by Dartmouth. And that pass across was intercepted by Simmons. He'll make a couple of moves past McPhee. He'll take a shot. Another rebounder, and the third rebound goes in. McPhee on the shot, and that will make it a 1-0 Rage hockey game. McPhee after the rebound shot of Simmons, as he will be undoubtedly credited on the assist. Simmons picking up his 8th assist. And Jake McPhee with his 2nd goal of the season. And that will make it a 1-0 Rage game. Will be interesting to see how they keep the lead as Craig dishes to his defensive counterpart.
Harbour Rage goal, score number 93, Jake McPhee. Assist number 5, Nakai Simon. Time of that goal, 4 minutes, 23 seconds.
Full shot in there. Another shot. Had it away.
23.
Away. You heard it there first, folks. Simon to McPhee. As that was an offside call, so the Rage will work out. Here's Dondo. He'll gain the zone. Taking a ripper, he scores! He took it from end to end on that one. Lucas Dondo. He'll pick up the lead on points with his 7th goal of the season. So it is now a 2-goal lead, just like that. I believe that came unassisted, but we will wait for the call on that. But nonetheless, a early 2-goal lead for the Rage off the sticks of Dondo and McPhee.
Your 50-50 tickets. Our winning ticket, 803-8908. That's 803-8908. If you have that ticket, you collect your prize at the top of section 12.
As that draw is defensively won by the Rage, but intercepted by Dartmouth as that shot was blocked away, went behind Gould, but picked back up. And it is cleared back out by the Rage for another icing. So 9:21 remaining after those 2 quick Rage goals, and Cole Harbour has a cozy 2-0 lead. It is won by Dartmouth, and Brown tried to get a back pass. It's intercepted by Lewis behind the net, and Lewis will clear out. Norton Connors will receive. He was trying to field through some pressure there, but Chevrier had him on the other side. Here's Chevrier coming from the right side. He enters a scrum with Norton Connors. It's worked out by Mayo. White in front with a shot, but it's patted away. Another shot on the left side, but it goes wide of Higgs. Lewis keeps it in at the point. Here's another shot by Carroll. It's patted away. That bouncing puck Went to the right side as Norton Connors tries to clear out. And Taylor, he's trying to work out for his team. Rage bouncing on the boards, and that will fall for an offside. Rage were trying to keep the momentum going as they have a 2-goal lead, trying to extend it as they have had a lot of leads not held and games not gone their way. But trying to pick up some momentum, both teams are trying to scratch and claw their way out of the bottom 4 as Norris will keep it in. And the Dartmouth Whalers will attempt to clear out. That was Chisholm on that. Baldwin up in front. He'll take a shot. Scores! Up top where Mama hides the cookies. And that's 3 of them now. 3 quick goals for the Rage in the first period with 8:07 remaining. As Baldwin got an interception right in front, a pizza, as I was just informed by Theo Yatru, one of High Button's finest, and he capitalizes on the pizza. And it looks like Dartmouth will have a timeout, looking to get things under control. We'll be right back in just a sec. So after that Dartmouth timeout, 8:07 remaining in the first frame, the Cole Harbour Rage have jumped out to a 3-0 lead. As Baldwin picked up his 5th goal of the season, going top shelf on a pizza in front of Higgs. As Lewis was fielding some pressure at the point. Dartmouth will clear out, at least for the moment, as Baldwin was trying to stick it back through, but Wakeham ends up with it. He'll dump for a chase. It's Taylor chasing and almost got mixed up with Gould there. And LaRue. He had it for a moment. Taylor coming to help. And Taylor keeps it in at the point. Back to the point. Taylor tried to stick it out, and that one will go out of play. And there won't be a delay of game on this one. Although Cole Harbour seemed to be making some noise, thinking that it was. And Strawls won by Dartmouth. As Berwin was trying to fight it through. But it is skated out by the Rage. Here's McPhee. He has a goal today already. But it'll be taken behind the net and cleared out by the Whalers. No icing signals are official, as there's a puck just behind the net. And it looks like we will get a second Rage power play. Once Dartmouth gains possession, they do. And we will get a tripping call, as we'll have to see who exactly is going to the bench, and it looks like that will be Jax Mosher. He will serve 2 for tripping, as the Rage will get their second power play of the afternoon. Despite the lead, none of those 3 goals came on the power play. However, McPhee's first goal came just after things were evened up, as the Rage win it. Dondo dishes to Baldwin. Baldwin. He'll dish to Carroll, who takes a shot that goes wide. Puck in front. Retaken by Mayo, as the head coach of the Rage reminds the power play not to force any opportunities as they are up 3-0 already. He walks to his right. There's a shot. Another rebound, patted away. Higgs doing all she can, and another stoppage for equipment issues. It seems as though Higgs might be having an issue with her helmet.
Dartmouth Whalers, thank you for your support.
As both teams will get changes before our next draw. And looks like they'll check on Higgs here, as I think her helmet was causing her some discomfort. So Black will go out, see what's going on, maybe lend her a hand or two, or perhaps change out. We will see how things develop, and our medical staff will tell Black to head in, it looks like. Oh, perhaps not. Nope. That is indeed correct. So Gordy Black will check in for Higgs after she was having some issues with her helmet. Higgs is 1-8 on the season. He started yesterday on the 7-3 loss to the Warewell Bombers. Hopefully we'll get things under control for the Rage, as that draw is won by Lewis. Still 1:10 to go on the tripping call to Jackson Mosher. As they will regroup behind the net. Pass down to Carroll. He'll dump it down, as Norton Connors will fight for it in the corner. It's worked out by Johnson. Johnson will attempt to clear. He does. And Lewis will chase all the way down. Less than a minute remaining in the tripping call to Jackson Mosher. It is the Rage's second power play of the afternoon. They were unsuccessful the first time despite the 3-0 score. Fielded all the way down. As Lewis, he'll dish to McPhee. McPhee takes a couple of steps and passes through. Georgie. And it is fielded all the way back out. Both teams will make changes now as Lewis picks up in his own end. 2 seconds and 1, and time has expired. Both teams are back at even strength. Here's a centering pass, though. Lucas Dondo, he has a couple of people on him, but it is picked up by Taylor on the other end. Taylor and Price are fighting for it, and Price will fight it out, but not before Taylor works it out himself as he bounce passes down to Wakeham. Wakeham will gain the zone as that centering pass was sticked out by LaRue. Or the centering pass by LaRue was sticked out by the Rage. Here's Chisholm. Chisholm will work through. And he'll dump all the way down as Chisholm and Norton Connors are tied up at the other side of the point. Here's a pass on the other side. Here's LaRue in front. Oh, and that shot just went high. Bounces off the glass as another scrum behind her. Here's a shot from the point. Bouncing puck in front, but sticked away by Dondo. Great play by him. Here's a shot by Chisholm. And kept in by LaRue at the point. As LaRue will go for a change real quick, as that puck remains in the corner for now. Fought out by the Rage. Here's a 4-on-2 as they dump it through and grab a change. Here's Baldwin. He has a goal today already as he tried to find Johnson, but was unable to. Here's a 3-on-2 for Dartmouth as they come the other way. McDonald. And it appears that the Whalers were offside, so we will get a quick stoppage. 2:49 remains in our first frame. We have three goals on the stick of Lucas Dondo, Jake McPhee, and Cruz Baldwin. And that draw is won by the Rage. They'll take it into the zone as Baldwin will chase and Craig will receive at the other end. Back the other way. Here come the Whalers as Mosher. He'll try to make a move. McDonald on his back. He'll take a shot. Patted away. Patted away off the glove. Oh, and that rebound. He scores. I think that was Rougeau. That was McDougal. My apologies. Jack McDougal. Off the rebound from the shot of Brown. Jack McDougal, that's his third goal of the season. And Alexander Brown will move into third on the team with points. That's his fourth assist of the season. Dartmouth evens it up, or shows some fight at the end of the first, as they were working for something. They were knocking on the door. That shot is swallowed up by Black. That's his first shot on goal, and his first save. So some life shown here at home for the Dartmouth Whalers. After that bouncing puck went past the legs of Gould. As that draw is won by the Rage. They'll keep it in at the point.
Dartmouth Whalers goal, scored number 15, Jack McDougal. Assist to number 11, Alexander Brown.
As that falls for Lewis. Kept in by Carroll. The captain of the Rage, Carroll, will make a couple of moves. In front for McPhee. Another shot in front for McLaughlin. And he scores. Nice couple of oops, I gotcha passes. And McLaughlin will make it a 4-1 game and regain the 3-goal lead for the Rage. Duncan McLaughlin. And that is his first goal of the season. Congratulations to Jack McLaughlin. Or Duncan McLaughlin, my apologies. Congratulations to that guy. It is his first goal of the season, and it has been a long season for the Rage, so that's got to feel good for that young man. As it is won again by the Rage. Mayo. He'll take a shot. It's blocked away by Black. The rebound couldn't get it as they were fielding some Dartmouth pressure. LaRue will skate. There's a shot in front. That went off the and it looked like Gould went down with some sort of injury or with some sort of hurt. There was no whistle. And Gould is trying to work his case, but Dartmouth fought through some pressure for a goal. And that's Jake Wakeham. And that will bring it back to a 2-goal lead for the Rage as officials will talk about that. Gould went down after the first shot. It looked like a raid. Oh, and no goal! There will be no goal on that, as it looked like Gould went down with some sort of face cage issue, as he went down after, I believe, a puck or a stick went off his mask in that scrum just in front of the net. So the draw will be to the blocker side of him, or the glove side of him, rather. Nope, blocker side, my apologies, but after quite the scrum, it will end up a no-goal result. So Rage will maintain the 3-goal lead for now as McPhee, or Chavry rather, gains the zone. It is regained by the Whalers as Taylor. This is down for LaRue. LaRue tried to send it through, but it hit a skater of the Rage. Here's Mosher making a couple moves. He had a shot, but it went off a shin guard. Here come the Rage the other way, as Mayo tried to dump it in, but it is sticked onto LaRue. He'll get McDonald up at center ice, and McDonald will make a move into the zone. McDonald fighting through 3 defenders, and kept in by Brown. Brown has an assist today off that last goal. And here comes McDougal the other way, and he'll take a shot, and that's swallowed up by Gould. As we have 26 seconds remaining in our first period, it's been an active one scoring-wise. A little bit for both teams. It was nearly just a 2-goal lead, but it was waved off as Gould was down, as that is one offensively by the Rage. Here's Brown with a nice shot. It went off the crossbar and out. Crossbar, a saving grace for Gould there, as Brown had a nice shot in front. And Crawford will pick it up at the other end. And we will get a boarding call. And it appears that the Rage will have a power play to enter the second period with, as Mosher goes back to the sin bin. The last power play was also off the infraction of Mosher, but it looks like Avery Brabant will also go for the offsetting penalty. So it looks like it'll remain 5-on-5 hockey for now, as Brabant and Mosher will sit in the box for 2. They will have a minute and 54 seconds to sit in there for the second period. 6 seconds remain in our second. Let's see if we can get a final shot off. It doesn't look like we will, as Taylor chases into his own zone, and that'll do it for the first period. The Rage came out and jumped out to the early 3-0 lead. There was a response by Dartmouth, but then an immediate reply back by the Rage. So a 4-1 score after 1. We'll see you in just a second. And back underway in the second period. Both teams having at least 1 score, but there were 4 for the Rage, as Lewis will dump it down into the zone. Coughlin will go and chase, as Taylor scoops it out of the zone. Lewis will will throw it back in. Taylor will pick up at the other end. He's fighting Baldwin and another Rage defender as he gets some help. But it is fought out by Dartmouth. And passed down to Bruce. Bruce will dump it in. Dartmouth will get a full line change on the dump, with the exception of Bruce, as he now goes to the bench as Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos had it in front of the net, as there's a shot that just goes wide. Lewis will try to keep it up at the point, but Mayo will back him up on the other end. He's tied up with Johnson. As Johnson and Lewis were fighting for possession there. Mayo will stick it down for Crawford. Crawford has White on the other end, and that was Chevry. Chevry had White on the other end, but it is dumped down. 18-17 remains in our second frame. As both teams will complete their changes, and we will get a face-off at the other end to the blocker side of Gould. It is won defensively by the Rage, and stick down by White. Kostopoulos, he keeps it in. Here's Taylor in front, and that puck is swallowed, or is covered by Gould. Well, the goals for the Rage didn't stop coming. McPhee, Baldwin, and Dondo, as well as McLaughlin with his first goal of the season, made this one a 4-1 hockey game. As Kostopoulos had a nice shot from the point, but it fell off the pad of Gould. That is bounced past, as Kostopoulos will pick it up at the other end. He's fighting for good position in this one. As there's a centering pass, but couldn't get the shot off. Work back down. Here's another shot, but that's covered by the blocker of Gould. And we have some extracurricular activity behind the net, and it looks like we will get penalties on both players. My apologies. It will just be one. It is Jack Taylor. He was getting a little too snippy at the end there, so a shot to the head will be the call. So the Rage will finally have their first power play. No, sorry. Rage will have their third power play of the afternoon. They've been unsuccessful on the first two, despite the score. As Jack Taylor will stick for two. Sit for two. Baldwin will step in for the Rage. He wins it for his team. He has the goal of the day. It is dumped down for Carroll. Gould will leave it for him. And the captain of the Rage, Carroll, will cross center ice and the blue line with it. He'll bring it all the way around, and he slipped, and he hit the post pretty hard. He's a little slow to get up, but he'll be all right. He was trying to take it end-to-end himself, but couldn't stick it through all by himself. So we'll get a reset just beyond the blue line. Won by the Rage, but cleared back out by the Whalers. Rage will work it out. It is Brabant. He'll leave it behind for Dondo. Dondo will make a couple of moves, step in. Here's a centering pass. Had a couple of sticks, but not the right ones, as it is cleared back out, as there is 1 minute remaining in the head contact call to Taylor. It is dumped back in, as Baldwin will fight for it with Mayo. Another scrum there, as Mayo will fight it out. At least for the time being, he'll get some help with Baldwin. We stick down to Dondo. Dondo back to Brabant. A slapper from Dondo, and that hit a skater, or it went just wide. One of the two. As Lewis will take it at the point, he dishes to Brabant. Brabant will move right. There was a puck in front after the save, but Baldwin will fight with Craig. Craig the bigger of the two individuals, so he'll make a couple of moves and clear out successfully. Time expires on the head contact penalty to Taylor as he comes out of the box. He'll remain on the ice for the time being. It is skated out by the Rage. And here they come by the Whalers. As Norton Connors was hit pretty big, he slammed into the boards. And looks like Crawford will take it out for the Rage. Whalers make a change as Norton Connors follows it up with a hit back. They're starting to exchange hits here as Arsenal. He'll stick it to Norris. He'll get it back. He was tied up with Norton Connors there, so he couldn't receive it cleanly. He'll get a couple of sticks on it, but it's cleared out of the zone by the Whalers. Here's Johnson. He'll stick it through, but ultimately Wakeham will take a shot in front. Oh my goodness! That beat Gould for the moment, but he was able to clear it through. And Dartmouth skated in with some contact. They are desperate to get out of this 3-goal rut that they're in.
Thank you to our sponsors, Nadia Drive Development, Elevation Elite, RBC Securities with Alex Romanowski, Pioneer Metalworks, Nova Sun Power, Shaw Precast, Marchand Development, and Greener Inspection Services.
As McDoodle will take it for the Rage, or for the Whalers, but is won by the Rage. Little scrum behind the net to the blocker side. Just bounce past it in. And a big hit there. But Brown will try and stick it through for McDougall, but he was fighting Trudell. Price will fight it out. He's got Arsenal on the other side, but he opts to dump for a chase. Taylor will take it at the other end. Trudeau trying to fight through, but he lost his stick. As Price will take it at the other end. Down to Crawford. Crawford will take a ripper from the point. That is gloved by Black. But, oh, my apologies. It looks like Lydia Higgs did make her way back in for the second period, so those saves have been off of the pads of Lydia Higgs. I suppose she got her helmet situation fixed out. Good to see her back on the ice, as that draw is won by Dartmouth. Sticked on to LaRue. LaRue tried a centering pass, and it'll be received right back to him. He'll gain the zone, making a couple of moves. He'll look for options. A nice shot in front goes wide. Here's Kostopoulos at the other end. He'll take a shot, patted away by Gould. Wakeham, he's battling in the corner, trying to work through the pressure of three Rage defenders. Here's a shot from Kostopoulos at the point, patted away again by Gould. It was cleared out by the Rage, as Kostopoulos will dump it back down. Wakeham and LaRue tried to get it behind the net. Kostopoulos keeps it in at the point, as there's Taylor. Taylor still fielding that bouncing puck, trying to get it under control. As he skates through with it, he was unable to keep control of it, and it'll be sticked back out. Wakeham was able to clear, so he's back in front. Oh, I thought he scored there. It hit the net. There's a lot of netting to work through, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, so my apologies on that. And it looks like Taylor lost the stick in his defensive efforts, as Carroll will work it through. Captain of the Rage, Carroll. He'll bounce dump it in. Higgs has it on her stick. And here's Carroll right in front. Oh, nice save by Higgs. Nice recovery, as she was out of her own crease trying to get set back up. Mayo keeps it in from the neutral zone, but Kostopoulos will clear. Mayo fighting through, but no call. Here's White. He's got one man to beat. And that shot went off the shin guard of Kostopoulos, who will pick it up at the other end. Kostopoulos, pass down, and Chip will receive it. Chip clears, as Lewis was offside, so they clear out. Here's down Chevry. Norton Connors will receive it back down, as it looks like there is a injured Whaler, as he might have gotten hit in the head, not in a way that he would have liked. Looks like it's Ollie Bruce, so we will take a second. And it looks like Ollie Bruce is able to make his way off. Oh, my apologies, that's Andy Chip. Andy Chip was hit. He was roughed up on that play, and he will be escorted off the ice by his own will, it looks. So good to see that he is at least moving and attentive. But nonetheless, we will continue. 11:26 remaining in the second. Rage hold a 4-1 lead. And some fitting tunes from our sound guy, as the Dartmouth are trying to get back up in this one. And here's a 2-on-1. He's got McDougal on the right side. Here's a shot. That's patted away by Gould, as Brown keeps it in at the other end. But Trudell will pick up some speed, but it's kept in at the other end. There's a shot in front, patted away by Gould. He has McDougal on the other side, but he'll opt to go to the point for Taylor. McDougal will chase. He has a goal today. A couple of physical contacts as Mayo tried to pass to White, and that puck goes out of the reach. And it's fought back into the Whalers zone. Taylor receives it at the other end as he attempts to clear to Brown. Brown passes down, but Donda will pick it up in front. Backhander sticked away by Higgs. Some physical contact in front of the net, as McDougal will pick it up and bounce past it. Here's Taylor. And that one's fought out by Dondo. Here's Mosher on the other side. He has Brown. Mosher's tied up. And there's a hit. But Brown on the other end, and we will get a stoppage, as Mosher got shaken up on that hit into the boards. So we will be right back with you in just a second. And looks like Mosher was able to get up out of his own volition, just had to take a knee in for a second. So everyone's up okay, and we can continue to play hockey. 9:48 remaining in our second period. That draw is won by the Rage. Carroll, he'll dump it down. And McLaughlin will chase, but that will fall for an icing. Couldn't get anyone to stick it on. 9:40 remaining in our second period. As the faceoff will be to the glove side of Gould. LaRue will step in for the Whalers. Carroll for the Rage. Won by the Whalers, stick down to Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos back down to Taylor. Taylor will make a couple of moves, fighting through some pressure in the corner. Taylor keeping it in at the other end as Lewis possesses it for the time being. Little scrum in the corner. His works back out. Tried a centering pass, but Kostopoulos wasn't where he would have wanted to be from that pass from Wakeham, and there will be an offside as Wakeham wasn't able to clear. 9:11 remaining in our second period. As the faceoff will come closer to the Dartmouth zone. As Crawford will step in against White. Crawford won the draw, but it was possessed by Dartmouth. As here's Sim. Sim's got Bruce on the other side. He tried that pass, but Bruce was just ahead of him. As Johnson tries to keep it in, Arsenal clears it out. And Johnson cleared it back through. He's able to clear. And here's Bruce. Arsenal will pick it back up behind his net. He'll look for options. Bruce providing some pressure. Sorry, that was Bravant. That was fielding some pressure behind the net, as he will continue to do so. Passed all the way down to Arsenal. Arsenal for Price. Price makes a couple of moves, but nothing doing in front. Arsenal keeps it in, but Taylor will regain. Johnson sticks that one through out of the zone. As Crawford, he picked it up in the neutral zone, but it will be received by the nice saucer pass all the way back down. Couldn't get the stick of Donaldson. 7:48 remaining in our second period. And McDougal will take the draw to the blocker side of Gould against Crawford. It is won by the Whalers. And here's Donaldson. He's got a little breakaway here. He'll take a shot, and it rings off the glass high and wide. Trying to keep it in. As Chisholm receives it, he bounce passes down to Craig. Craig tries to clear it out, and they're eventually successful in that effort. Dondo will pick it up. McDougal trying to make some room for Bruce. Bruce makes a couple of moves. Tried a backhander, but easily patted away by Gould. Craig will keep it in at the point. As Trudell tried to clear that one, and it goes out of play. So some back and forth action, as that breakaway for Bravant didn't go the way he would have liked. And faceoff is once again won by the Whalers, as a shot there by Wakeham is swallowed up by Gould. So we'll do it again to the blocker side of Gould. And great body work as it is won by the Rage. Taylor and Donaldson, as Donaldson was trying to create another breakaway for himself, not braving it. So we will do it again at the other end. Crawford steps in against Taylor. It's won by Crawford, but sticked away at the other end. Here's Wakeham. Wakeham has some open ice. He'll take a shot. Oh, man, he tried to go 5-hole. It's patted away by Gould. He didn't have a lot of open ice, not a lot of time to decide what he wanted to do, so he tried to go 5-hole, but it was denied as the Rage fight it back out. As White was slashing a stick away on that one, and the puck ends up out of play. So we will have a draw to the blocker side of Higgs. Down for Lewis. Lewis takes a shot at the point. Patted away by Higgs. There was some open ice for Chevry, but nothing doing as there's a scrum in the corner. As Bruce, Mayo, and a couple of other skaters are held up in the corner. It's eventually moved as Taylor back down for Sim, and another stoppage for another icing. Both teams will make changes as Dartmouth is trying to get it out of their own zone, trying to claw their way up and out of this 3-goal deficit, as McPhee, who has a goal today, will step in against Bruce. Won by the Rage. Oh, shot in front, patted away. There was a rebound for Norris, but he couldn't stick it home. Here's Johnson with the bounce pass. It is sent back in by McLaughlin. McLaughlin at the other end. Here's McPhee. Norris trying to keep it in, but Simon will do it. That shot is gloved away by Higgs, so we will have another stoppage. Dartmouth will get a full line change and a defensive change for the Rage. McPhee and Taylor will step in for the draw. And it looks like we will have a switch from the discretion of the referee. It is won by the Rage as Simon will dish it for McPhee. McPhee couldn't skate out of those two defenders as Taylor will take it behind his own net. Taylor, he tried to stick it through, but they eventually get it down to LaRue in the neutral zone. A pass down for Wakeham. Wakeham trying to work through some pressure as Dondo tried to work it out. Here's a centering pass for Taylor. Another rebound. Wakeham had it on his stick but couldn't drive it home. It is cleared back out. Taylor will clear, and here come the Whalers once again. Here's Wakeham with a shot. Oh, it goes off the crossbar once more. There have been two. Oh, here's another shot. It's patted away by Gould. Kept in by Norton Connors, who had a shot that's again patted away by Gould. A couple of shots hitting iron for the Dartmouth Whalers in their attempt to come back from this 3-goal deficit as that shot is patted away, or patted and swallowed up. And both teams will make changes before the next draw. With 4:11 remaining in our second period. Won by Dartmouth. Brown tried to take a shot, but he ran into the shin guard of Crawford, as Crawford will dump it through for the Rage. Crawford. Try to stick that one for Arsenal. It is won back by the Whalers, as they will dump it back out. Lewis takes it from his own end. He's got Mosher on his back as he gets it for Arsenal. Arsenal to Crawford, and Crawford will dump it for a chase. Price is in there with Chisholm. Price, the bigger of the two, so he will win that size battle. And he tried that stick for Crawford. And Brown will get some open ice here. And, oh man, and Lewis, he had no chance with Lewis skating in front. And it appears that we will get a call. And we will get our first Dartmouth power play of the afternoon, as Lewis tripped Brown on that one, say the officials. So, our first Dartmouth power play. We will see if it will ignite some life as they are trying to battle back from a 3-goal deficit. As McDougall will take the draw against Crawford. It's won by Crawford and all the way back down. So Dartmouth regroup on the other end. Here's Wakeham. He'll gain the zone with it. He'll skate through some defenders. He'll take a shot and score! And that one is squeezed away. It seemed like it was the blocker side of Gould, and he just shot it through the armpit there, as Wakeham will make it a 2-goal game. He went end-to-end with that one. It is his 10th goal of the season as he goes to double digits. He will improve to 20 points on the season, so congratulations to that man as he continues to lead the points for the Whalers. And it is won by the Rage. Yep. Oh, and here's Wakeham on the left side again, trying to make a bid for 2. As that was a great unassisted goal by him. He went end-to-end on that one. Here's Kostopoulos. Shot in front. As that one was just wide, but it fell off of the glove of Gould. There's Donaldson. He has Bourgeois on the other side. Taylor. Here's Wakeham again up center. He was fielding some pressure there from Trudell as the Rage regained the puck. Donaldson and Dondo. Here's a pass for Donaldson right in front. Oh, goodness. Another shot for Donaldson with open ice, and he goes wide once more. Here's Dondo. He picks it up at the other end. He tries a backhander, and it goes over the head and wide of Higgs. Just about 90 seconds remaining in our second frame. Here's a slapper from Dondo. It rings off the glass on the other side. LaRue, he had a nice centering pass for Sim, but it was read all the way by Lewis as Mayo. He has, oh, what a great save! She used all the body for that one as Higgs saved the lead from regaining to 3 as Lewis sticked it all the way down for Arsenal, and White with the rebound, and both times were swallowed up by the body and glove of Higgs. Great couple of saves from her. My goodness, she outstretched her entire body to make that save on the other side. It was a great pass in front, but a great swallow up. So Crawford will step in and take it against Bruce. Bruce wins it for his team. So the Whalers will skate out. Here's Johnson. He fought through White on that one. He'll gain the zone. He'll stick it through for Sim. Sim couldn't pick it up. He was tied up with a defender of his own. And they fight it back out of the zone. Mayo, he's on the back of Craig. Last minute of play of the second period as Sim will stick it through into the zone. Johnson will chase. He'll possess the puck. Back down for Craig at the point. Craig will take a shot. Oh, and that bounced off a couple of defenders. Oh, out in front on his knees is White. There's a big scrum, but it is eventually found by the Rage. And Craig will keep it in at the point. Craig will try and take another shot, sticked away by Gould. Here's Donaldson. He'll dish it down to Mayo. Mayo clears it out. But Chisholm thought maybe there was a chance the ref didn't see it, but it is sticked away offside. Lewis down to White. As last 10 seconds remain, Lewis took a shot, patted away by Higgs. Higgs has been great so far in this second period. As that will bring us to our third period. We'll get an ice flood, and we'll be back here in a couple of minutes. 4-2 for the Rage, as they will look to come back from a 2-goal deficit. We'll be back in about 10 minutes here on High Button Sports on U15 Hockey Sunday. And as our Zamboni leaves the ice and clears off some snow, we will give you a game recap here on High Button Sports Live. U15 Hockey Sunday. Rage and Whalers. The Rage jumped off to an early 3-goal lead off the stick of McPhee, Baldwin, and Dondo. Jack McDougall would make it a 3-1 game in the second period, but they would be replied to very quickly off the stick of Duncan McLaughlin of the Rage. He had his first goal of the season on that one. But then just towards the end of the period, Mason Wakeham would go end-to-end unassisted and would get Gould blocker side. And that leaves us where we are now, entering the third period. A 4-2 game. As we get our nets and players set and ready for this third frame, it's due to be an exciting one. I had it on good word that both teams were chirping early as the pre-game off-ice warm-ups. So we will see if there is a sense of urgency from both teams, or from either team. And we will see how things will shape up. Both teams are 12th and 10th respectively, and they are trying to scratch and claw their way out of the bottom four. So we are all set to go for our third period here from the Dartmouth Sportsplex, or the Zatzman Sportsplex here in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Just across the bridge from Halifax, from downtown Halifax, as it is won by Dartmouth and skated into the zone by Taylor as he dumps it in for Wakeham. Wakeham will receive it at the other end. Fights with McPhee, as McPhee takes it away for a moment as LaRue sticks it back for Wakeham. Wakeham will go to the other end. He'll take a ripper, and it's patted away by Gould. Wakeham has the most recent goal in this game as they get it to Taylor at the point, and they stick it back down for Wakeham. Wakeham tries a centering pass in front and is patted away. Some extracurricular activity in front of the net early as Dondo gives LaRue a little shove. And both teams will make full changes. Their first full change of the third. As McDougall will step in against Chevry. Fought. That one is one, and a shot from the point goes wide. Norton Connors tried to keep it in, and Mayo lost his stick trying to combat him. Craig at the other end. He's got White on his back. So he will pass back as the Rage trying to set up in the zone with some pressure up. But here is Brown as he tries to dump it to himself. He is successful, but it is taken away for the moment. But passed down to Norton Connors at the point. Norton Connors will take a rip, but that one is gloved by Gould. So a couple of shots on goal early for the Dartmouth Whalers. They're trying to fight out of this 2-goal deficit, as both teams will make full changes once more. As Bruce will step in against Baldwin. It is won by Dartmouth, as there's a shot from the point, patted away by Gould easily. There's McLaughlin. Here's a pass in front, a shot. Patted away again by Gould. Here's another shot from the point. Patted away once more. Chisholm meets Lewis there as Sims sticks it onto the other side. Taylor's going to try and beat McLaughlin on the other side. Some big hits, keeping Dartmouth in the zone. They've been in the zone most of the third period. As we approach 2.5 minutes down. Oh my goodness, a big open ice hit. Sims not going to avoid a penalty for that, as the height difference made it a shot to the head. And boy howdy, Sim was trying his hardest to keep that one in the zone and keep the momentum going. As it looked like he hit Baldwin pretty damn hard. He's going to readjust his helmet after that one. That was quite the open ice hit, and I don't think he intended for a headshot there, but I think the size differential made it so. As it is cleared all the way back down and sticked by Gould.
2 minutes head contact. Time up 2 minutes, 11 seconds. And now here's the Mitsubishi penalty kill.
As it is dumped in for the Rage, they will have their 4th power play of the afternoon. They've yet to be successful on any one of them. So Dondo will fight through some defenders. They'll eventually gain the zone. And here's the pass to Brabant, as he took a nice shot. It's blockered away by Higgs. And here's a nice little rush. Taylor, McDougal, and Wakeham. Here's Wakeham at the center. McDougal with a shot on the left side. It's batted away. They get it to Taylor at the point. Taylor has Wakeham to help him out. They'll put it into the zone, and they will regroup on the defensive end. Dartmouth Whalers fighting for a shorthanded opportunity. They just had a nice one. Off the stick of McDougal. And it's fought out again once more. They had Wakeham on the back end, backing him up as Taylor contests Dondo. Here's a shot in front. Off the post and out. As it is swallowed up again, and we will get a whistle. My goodness. And Higgs lays back first as she takes in what just happened. That was a mighty fine shot that just went off the pad, or off the post, and back into the swallow up of Higgs. It was a nice shot by Carroll on the left side as he was right in front. As Crawford steps in and is able to offensively win it for the Rage. Pass back out to Trudell. Trudell takes a couple of steps, passes back down for Crawford. Crawford all the way across for Lewis. Lewis will take a couple of steps, looking for options, going to the other side. As Lewis will take a shot, gloved by Higgs. Here's a rebound in front, patted away. As Price, and the shot to the head call expires. Both teams back to even strength as Crawford keeps it in for now. He'll fight through some defenders. He's got some open ice in front. He'll take a shot, patted away by Higgs. And it is finally cleared out by the Whalers as Johnson got his stick on it. Johnson trying to fight through and give his team a chance to change. They do in fact do that as Wakeham is on the other side for Lewis. Christopoulos and Lewis, they'll have a foot race for it. They're both slammed into the boards. And here's Taylor. Takes it out from his other end. Here's a bounce pass all the way in front. Wakeham with a breakaway. He'll make a move, but that backhander is batted away. He'll keep his stick on it, though. And there is an arm up. So it looks like we will get a Dartmouth power play, the second of the afternoon. And we will see Crawford go to the box for a shot to the head. So I believe it came just after the breakaway attempt by Wakeham, as he remains on the ice, as Wakeham kept that rebound on his stick, trying to create the opportunity. So as we continue, Dartmouth will have their second power play as Wakeham holds it on his stick. Here's a shot from center. That's patted away by Gould once more. Here's Christopoulos from the point. He'll bring it back down. And there's a shot in front. Another rebound. And backhanded by Masra and scores! They're within one! There was a little scrub in front after the shot. After the shot by Alexander Brown. He'll be credited for the assist on that one, as well as McDougal. And there is Mosher. That is his 6th goal of the season. As they will win it at the other end. Taylor will fight out for it. Here's Wakeham. Wakeham gains the zone on the left side. He'll try a wraparound pass. McDougal makes a couple of moves on Simon. He'll take a shot. It goes just wide, but Brown picks it up at the other end. And it looks like they still have the power play going. That was a power play goal off the rebound, off the stick of Jackson Mosher. Mosher has gone to the box a couple of times, so it's only fitting that he would have a power play goal to put them within one. As they were fighting through some pressure by Simon, Taylor will take it behind the net and will stick it back down as Dartmouth continues their power play. In the zone, he tried a centering pass in front for Sim, but goes just wide. Here's Craig. He'll dish it down for McDougal. McDougal will take a shot. He has a goal today. Got to be careful for him if you are the Rage defensively. Pat it back, down to the point. Another shot. It fell off a couple of sticks. McDougal is able to dish it back out, at least for the moment, as Taylor keeps it in. Here's McDougal behind the net. McDougal, he tried to center pass in front, but Craig keeps it in at the point. Pass down for Taylor. Taylor, centering pass for McDougal, who takes a shot. Here's a rebound, and it's patted away. Patted away by Gould, who keeps it a 1-goal game. Bruce is going to fight with Carroll. Bruce wins the battle. He'll bring it down to the point. Taylor to Taylor. Another centering pass for LaRue, but he couldn't make his stick get on the ice as well. They'll stick it back down. Crawford's out of the box. They're back to even strength. Here's a shot in front and it's patted, or goes just wide rather. Here's Craig. He wins the battle. Centering pass for Bruce. Bruce couldn't get a shot. Another shot in front by LaRue. Patted away. And a cozy couple of opportunities for Dartmouth as it is cleared once again by the Rage. Rage will use the opportunity to get the change as they were unable to. And here comes Dartmouth again. Taylor in front for Mosher, who has a goal today already. He had the one to tighten the margin to 1. And it is finally fought out by Arsenal, or by Brabant, who will stick it down. Shot in front, patted away. And it looks like we will have another penalty as... Oh, my apologies, it'll just be a stoppage, but a Whaler ran into the net, dislodged it. Oh, it does appear we will have another power play. I believe Brabant sent Mosher into the net. Or perhaps it was Kostopoulos. Everything going real fast in this one. As we are a minute 40 remaining from halfway home. As Wakeham dishes down for Brown. Another power play for the Whalers. It is a cross-checking call. It's a cross-checking call for Brabant. As Wakeham will take it behind his net. Third power play for the Whalers. Or second power play, rather. Their first power play they were successful on. Off the rebound shot from Mosher. So they are trying to knot the game at 4. They've been down the entirety of this game. Rage jumped out to an early lead. About 2.5 minutes from the first, or from the start of the first. And we have yet to see Dartmouth knot things up as of recent, but here's a chance. Here's McDougal. He's up center. He's fielding some pressure from some larger individuals. That's Carroll on that, as Mayo's trying to fight it out. And they eventually clear it out for a quick change. And about 45 seconds remaining in the cross-checking call to Brabant. Dartmouth trying to ease their way in as Taylor will gain the zone. Oh, tried to leave it for LaRue, but LaRue wasn't ready for the pass. As I think he thought Taylor was going to skate in with it a little bit before dishing. 15 seconds remain in the cross-checking call to Brabant. As Craig will finally skate in with it for Dartmouth. They have yet to get a shot on goal this power play. It's sticked on to Taylor. Taylor, back down. Here's a shot. Patted away. Another shot by Craig. It hits another Rage member. Brabant's out of the box and Price will replace him. Stick down to Taylor. Taylor got some open ice. He'll take a shot. Rebound scored! Oh my goodness! They have come all the way back. It's 4-4. It was a nice easy pass that looked like a fake shot. And LaRue will get his stick on that. Jackson LaRue, it's his 6th goal of the game, man. And we will have a timeout as chaos ensues. We'll be back in just a moment. Back with you here live on High Button Sports. Killian Powers on the call with you. It's been a pleasure to be with you through this entire game. Rage and Dartmouth. Dartmouth has just tied things up at 4 from being down by as much as 3. Off 2 quick goals, 2 quick power play, one was a power play, one wasn't. Off the sticks of Jack Mosher and Jackson LaRue.
Assist number 9, Jack Taylor. Time of that goal, 10 minutes, 31 seconds. LaRue from Taylor at 10:31.
You heard it from our PA announcer on hand here at the Zatzman Sportsplex as that puck is covered up for a stoppage. The Dartmouth Whalers have come all the way back from down 3. They've had some fight in them since the second period, but they have come out with a sense of urgency here in this third period. Jax Mossler and Jackson LaRue with the equalizing goals, as that is won defensively by Dartmouth. Chisholm. He bounced past it to Taylor. Taylor will get Wakeham up at the other end in the neutral zone as a big open ice hit thwarts any offensive opportunity there. Sticked all the way down for Wakeham, and that will fall for, nope, no icing, as Wakeham picks it up at the other end, but that pass is intercepted by Simon. Simon, he'll take a rip from the point, and it rinks off the glass. And we'll get a stoppage. Maybe I believe it hit netting before it hit glass. 8:35 remaining in our third period. And both these teams, as I mentioned earlier, didn't have the best showing at the Ice Jam last weekend, and they're looking to get things back on track for the U15 season. Trying to crawl out of the bottom 4 in the standings, as that is won defensively by Dartmouth. Kostopoulos trying to get it on for Craig. Craig will skate with it, bounce off the glass, and out of play once more. At one point, it was a 4-1 game heading into the end of the second, but just minutes before the second period expired, Mason Wakeham went end-to-end, and that started the comeback for Dartmouth. They then had a power play, which resulted in a goal from Jax Mosher, and then just a minute ago, Jackson LaRue evened things up on a tic-tac-toe play from Taylor, as that puck will go again out of play, and we will have another draw, I believe, at center ice, potentially. Nope, it'll be to the blocker side of Higgs, just beyond the blue line. With 8:09 remaining in regulation. Draw is won by Dartmouth, but past the stick of Kostopoulos. Mayo tried to get a pass in front, but Taylor, another shot, scores! Oh my goodness, right in front. They were sacrificing everything to get in front of the pass. But it is Chevry with his first goal of the game. And his third goal of the season. He's mostly a passing man, but he was right in front of the net for that pass to receive that pass. And Chevry will make it a 5-4 game. Rage out back in front. 7:58 remains. So we are just under 8 minutes remaining in regulation, as Chevry has gotten it back out, but here they come again. Taylor to Wakeham. Wakeham will take a shot, gloved by Gould. And I've been pronouncing Chevrolet's wrong this entire broadcast. My apologies to any family members that might be watching. As he has the goal that unevens the tide here. As the Rage jump back out to a 1-goal lead, but not so fast as Dartmouth wins it on the draw. Wakeham trying to make a couple of moves himself. He gets a shot on goal. It's patted away by Gould. Taylor trying to fight it out, and we will get another Dartmouth power play. Their first goal on the comeback came on the power play. And it looks like that will be the end of Lucas Dondo's night, as he was chirping back to the official. And he will be ejected for that one. And Bourgeois will serve his penalty for him. So Lucas Dondo ejected after chirping at the official for the penalty call. So a big power play coming for the Whalers, as the Rage will be without their top point scorer for this power play, as Wakeham will take a shot. It goes high. Wakeham, as he's on the left side, as Bourgoin will serve all 4 minutes of those, as Arsenal sticks it back down. It falls off the stick of Higgs as Kostopoulos tries to get a pass down for Wakeham, but Arsenal will keep it in. Rage looking to maybe set up a shorthanded opportunity, but Wakeham sticks it through. Wakeham, he'll gain the zone. He doesn't have many options as Carroll slams him into the boards. McDougall will keep it in with assists from Kostopoulos, but it is sticked back out. As the Rage are all on pressing up and defensive mode, as they realize how important this power play is for the Whalers. McDougall, he'll make a couple of moves, he'll gain some ice. He'll circle around, pass it back to the point to Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos with a shot, bouncing puck, gloved by Gould. 6:19 remains in regulation. So Bourgoin will serve the remaining 2 minutes and 48 seconds of the double minor to Dando, who will serve a 10-minute misconduct, and that will be the end of his afternoon. So should Dartmouth even things up here, it'll be a major hit to the Rage to be without their top point scorer, as Taylor is fielding some pressure from Simon as he tries to escape his own zone. He'll pass it back down for Taylor as Dartmouth tries to regroup and figure out a plan. As Taylor, back down for Taylor on the other end as he gains the zone. He'll wait for some options, dishes to Taylor at the point. Craig, back down. And they'll bring it back to the point. Craig, back down for LaRue. LaRue, he has the goal that evened it up. Here's a shot, and it's swallowed up by Gould. LaRue was trying to find a shooting lane as he was passing back and forth with Craig. As the Rage will get a full line change before we continue. 2 minutes, 5 seconds remaining, 2:05 remaining on the double minor to Dando. As here's a backhander. And it's shot in front. Here's LaRue trying to pick it up in front, but it's sticked away. Still in the zone, though, as Taylor takes it on the right side of the point. He'll pass down to Craig. Craig passing back across to Taylor. Trying to figure out how to drive in deep is Dartmouth. As they are passing back and forth, there's a shot. It went off of a shin guard of a Rage member as they will go across center ice and dump down. Craig will receive it behind his own net. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the double minor to Dando. It is being served by Borgwin as he was ejected, as that is a nice pass down to Brown. Brown will take a shot. It trickles wide. And it is cleared all the way back down onto the stick of Higgs. So the Rage will take that opportunity to get a full change. As here's Kostopoulos. He'll dump it down. No offsides. Signals the referee as Wakeham and Mosher run into each other, trying to create an opportunity, and it is sticked all the way back down. So McDougal will pick it up behind his own net. He'll field some pressure from White. And McDougal having some issues with White as he sticks it down for Taylor, or for Kostopoulos rather. Kostopoulos re-receives it, and he sticks it down for Wakeham, but Wakeham wasn't ready and looking, and it is back down for Higgs. 20 seconds remain on the double minor to Dando, who has been ejected. Or to Dando, rather. So here is McDougal, as time is expiring on the double minor. As Borgwin is now out of the box. Here's Wakeham. Wakeham will pass down for Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos will take a shot. It ends up in front, as Trudell will try and clear it out. Here's Carroll, the captain of the Rage. He's trying to stick it out in front, or on the left side rather. But it is repossessed by the Rage, and here they come. Trudell. Oh, he tried to stick it through. Here's a potential opportunity, but Carroll backed him up on that one. Here's Carroll on the other side as Wakeham. Wakeham tries to fight it into the zone. He's successful for a moment, but McPhee will fight it through. Little battle on the neutral zone here, as there's 2:40 remaining in this one. That shot is patted away by Higgs. And another stretch saucer pass, thwarted by the Rage for the moment, as Chisholm puts it into the zone as he was fighting some pressure. As Lewis will stick it down to Arsenal. Some fight towards the blue line as Sim is trying to keep it in for some options on the other side. It is fought out by the Rage, but kept in. Oh, not as cleanly as he would have liked. Taylor dumps it in, and both teams will make changes. We have less than 2 minutes to go in regulation. Dartmouth fought all the way back, but the Rage, and it looks like there will be a too many men on the ice call. So we will get a stoppage. So Donaldson will go serve the remainder of regulation and potentially 15 seconds of overtime in the box for too many men for the Rage. Last opportunity, last gasp for the Whalers as they have emptied the net, and it'll fall wide. And it'll be picked up by Craig. So there are 6 men on the ice for Dartmouth as they try and take every advantage here. So the 2-man advantage. Here's a shot, and it's patted away or swallowed up by Gould with 1:25 remaining in regulation. Last gasp for the Whalers. Can they come? Do they have a little bit of magic once more? It's stick down to Taylor. Taylor will bring it down to his Taylor counterpart, as there's a puck in front for just a moment, as he fights on the other side, trying to create some opportunities. He leaves it down for McDougal, who takes a shot, and it's swallowed up again by Gould. McDougal is one of the 4 goals for the Whalers. He has scored his first goal of the season today. It's got to feel good for that man, win or lose. So LaRue will step in. Won by the Whalers once more. Wakeham. He'll try and get it for Taylor. Chevry will pass it down for Taylor. Taylor will gain the zone. He's got Wakeham behind him, but he will opt to skate and then leave it for Wakeham. Wakeham couldn't battle through the pressure. As here's McDougal. And there's Lewis with the puck on his stick. The net is empty. And man, and that shot attempt is blocked by Craig. And Taylor has only half a minute to do something for the Whalers. They have the 2-man advantage at the moment. Here's McDougal, and that will be an offside call by the officials. 23 seconds remain. So, coach is making changes, making some swaps in position. Trying to change everything up as here's McDougal. McDougal trying to get the puck on a stick, and oh my goodness! Jacob Wakeham has scored on the other end! They were able to get it to a stick on the blocker side of Gould. Are you kidding me? It's his second goal of the game! Mason Wakeham! Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Holy cow! Mason Wakeham with his 11th goal of the season. This is a 3-point game for him, win or lose. As we have 16 seconds remaining in regulation, as Wakeham has just tied the game. They were able to get that puck through. I don't know how they got that puck through all 4 of those defenders. And it is cleared back out. There is Hicks in net now. 2 seconds and 1, and we are headed to overtime. We will be back in just a couple of seconds after both teams will take a small intermission. Very small. We'll be back in just a minute or so. Overtime hockey, ladies and gentlemen. Mason Wakeham tied the game with 16 seconds remaining as he has it in front. And oh my God, he just won the game! Oh my goodness! Are you kidding me? Mason Wakeham completes the hat trick, and that will do it. Dartmouth will complete the comeback as Mason Wakeham went top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. And the Rage are just beside themselves as they had a 3-goal lead most of the game. And Dartmouth with an absolutely huge victory. They were back down. They fought to almost a 2-goal lead, down 2. And Mason Wakeham had the equalizing goal with 16 seconds to go in the third. But that's going to do it here at High Button Sports. An absolutely electric third period to end this one. But your final, Dartmouth Whalers 6, Coal Harbour Rage 5. And I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in this afternoon. It's an absolute pleasure calling this great game, and we will see you again here on High Button Sports. I've been Killian Powers on the call.